Lamar better than Vic? Yes. I'm taking Lamar Jackson over Michael
Larry
Vick.
Bird never had a bad season.
Lamar Chase is going to have 15 touchdowns.
He may still be the best player in the world. Sports fans, we are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I'm your host, OG the Beast. Look, man, it's been so long, man. I might have forgot how to do this shit, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat that joined in, man. I appreciate y'all still rocking with your boy, man. Shout out to KB. Shout out to Donnie G Buckets for the gifted subs. I appreciate you guys, man. While we were waiting, you paid homage to your boy, man. I appreciate that, man. I love all of you guys, man. I miss all of y'all, man. It's been so long. It's been so damn long, man. Where do we start? Where do we start? What you mean no intro? Am I coming in clean? Thumbs up if I'm coming in clean. Let me know if everybody can hear me. Am I coming in loud and clear? Let me know. KB say no intro like he ain't hear me. I definitely gave the intro. Thumbs up if you can hear me in the chat. Thumbs up. Somebody give me an indication. Okay, so we good. We live. Look, NFL season is here. And I'm happy. I'm happy as can be. I drafted my fantasy team a couple of days ago. And what was this? Yesterday, actually. And I'm as happy as can be, man. I don't know where to begin, where to start. I don't even know where the hell I'm gonna finish at. But look, we got a lot to get to today. We gonna get through some award predictions. Who I think is gonna win the Defensive Player of the Year, the MVP, all of that. We even gonna do some top fives in the major, positions: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, the whole nine. I'm gonna give y'all my expectations of the Philadelphia Eagles. I might even go through the schedule, to see who we play and give y'all a rundown of who I think we're going to beat, who I think we're going to lose to, and I'm going to keep it a bean. Donnie G say Pats Nation. Hey, man, I don't know what to say about them New England Patriots, man. They look like they might need to go ahead and kick off a rebuild real quick. But I'm going to keep it a buck with you, though. They got Bill Belichick, and as long as they got Bill Belichick, they could potentially be a top 10 defense every single season. So, Mr. Finesse, say let's talk about the Jets signing some veteran talent. Looks like they want to ring this year. Definitely look like the Jets are going all in. The addition of Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets are loaded across the board, man. We're going to get into that too. We're going to talk about top 5 offenses, top 5 defenses. But right now I want to kick it off with my expectations of the Philadelphia Eagles, right? Coming off the brutal, it's not brutal, but I feel like we had a legit opportunity to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And I feel like, honestly, we got a legit opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl. How about them Giants? Brian Daboll is the former coach of the year, might get coach of the year this year again, man. He's remarkable. What he's done with Daniel Jones is amazing, especially with limited talent around him. Daniel Jones had the best season he's had out of his entire career. So shout out to the New York Giants, though, even though I'm an Eagles fan. But like I was saying, though, man, I think we got a legit shot, man. I think the Eagles got a legit shot to get back to that Super Bowl, man. The NFC is wide open, and I think we the front runners. Let's be honest. The NFC is wide open, and I think the Eagles are the front runners. Now, if you say anything other than that, hey, man, you capping. That's just what it is. Now, if you're not talking about the 49ers, you definitely got to be talking about the Eagles. So, I ain't got the schedule right in front of me, but I know the NFL posted that we have the toughest schedule, probably trying to compensate for last season. We had the easiest schedule, quote unquote, in the league, one of the easiest. So, they gave us the toughest schedule. So I don't want to hear none of y'all running y'all mouth this upcoming season when we start the year 6-0, 7-0, and everybody like, oh, the Eagles got it easy. Nah, dog, I ain't trying to hear that. Right now, we have the toughest schedule in the league given to us by the NFL. So when we start rambling off these wins, these dubs, I don't want to hear nothing from nobody. Speaking of the start of the NFL season, we be having a lot of bandwagoners out there that like to jump ship off the team that they came in with and jump ship to another team mid-season. I see it every single year. All of a sudden, everybody is a Jets fan. All of a sudden, everybody is an Eagles fan or a San Francisco fan. This shit happens every year. So right here, right now, I want you to let me know who your team is. No hesitation. I want to know who your team is before the season start. Also, I want to know your record prediction of that team. I want it. I need it. Drop it down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think y'all team going to do this year. Because I know my boys going – we at least win in 13 games, minimum. Minimum we win in 13 games. No, my Giants have the toughest schedule in the NFL. I got to look at the schedule, man, but they said the Philadelphia Eagles had the toughest schedule. Week 1, them Pats going to shock the world versus the Eagles. That's what you hoping for. That's definitely what you hoping for. Shock. You hoping that they shock the world, man, because I can't see it, man. It's like Stevie Wonder, man. I can't see it. KB say the Bears, they going 7-10. The New York Giants, 11-6 for the Giants. Come on, man. Come on, man. Ely, you being wild, man. 11-6. 11-6 is crazy. Hey, let's get into this though, man. Let's do top 5 offenses in the National Football League. Coming into this season, it's going to be a little bit different from how things went last year. I think it's always surprises with the NFL. That's why it's the greatest sport in the world, right? So if I had to take a look at the top 5 offenses going into the season, right, this isn't based off last year. This is based off the additions guys made in the offseason, whether it be coaching, whether it be players, veterans, rookies, the draft, whatever they did. This is who I think in anticipation will be the top 5 defenses by the end of the season, right? If we went 10-7 last year, then yes, I say we go 11-6. Y'all went 10-7. I thought y'all only won 9 games last year. I thought the only double-digit teams in our division was us and the Cowboys that won 10+ games. But I could be wrong. I thought the Giants won 9 games. But top 5 defenses headed into the 2023 NFL season. Number 5, I got the LA Chargers, right? Now, a bit of a down year for the Chargers. We expected more out of them than what they gave us, but I believe this year they're going to have a bounce-back year, right? Health has always been an issue for this team. They got a young superstar in Justin Herbert that I truly believe will take another leap in his progression this season. You know, look, as long as you got Austin Eckler straight, he ain't going nowhere. You got Keenan Allen straight, he ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And you got Mike Williams, the red zone threat. He ain't going nowhere. This offense is going to be poised for greatness. And we know what type of talent they got on the defensive side of the ball, but that's neither here nor there. At 5, I got the Chargers. At 4, I got the Jets. Now, I know this might be a little bit low to some of y'all, but chemistry is a real thing. I know y'all watching Hard Knocks and y'all seeing what y'all seeing on Hard Knocks. Trust me, I'm seeing it too. But I do believe chemistry can be a real thing. The offensive line seemed a little shaky to me. So I think that's something that they're going to have to work through and get together. But I do still think, even with all that said, they will be a top 5 offense in the league. You got Aaron Rodgers, you got a dual threat running backs in the backfield with Delvin Cook, and you got Breece Hall coming off that injury. Hopefully he's okay. You know, you got Garrett Wilson, a true breakout candidate this season. The man had an incredible season last year with me throwing him the ball. So the Jets will be poised for greatness this season. At 3, I got the Jags. I am high as hell on the Jacksonville Jaguars this season. I think they are going to break out, and they are going to show people why they went out and made the acquisitions that they made, and how this is an example of how a rebuild is supposed to look like, right? Usually they say work from the inside out on rebuild, start in the trenches, but these guys just said, damn it, we got our quarterback. Let's put some pieces around him. They sneakily traded for Calvin Ridley, who was suspended. Then they got Christian Kirk still, you know, on the outside or in the slot, wherever you want to put him at. You know, they got Travis Etienne, who I believe in. I like this roster. They got Evan Ingram. This offense is going to be poised for greatness. I think they finished 3 at the end of the regular season. And number 2, I got trustee, Kansas City Chiefs. How could you go wrong? What's understood don't need to be explained. As long as you got Andy Reid, as long as you got Patrick Mahomes, and as long as you got Travis Kelce, I don't give a damn who else is around them or on that roster, wide receivers, tight ends, it don't matter. These boys will be a top 3 offense in the National Football League by the end of the season next year. And number 1, we got the Eagles, man. The best wide receiver core in the league. Devonta Smith had over 100 catches, 1,200 yards last season. I mean, A.J. Brown is a top 5, arguably top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the league this season or last season. You know, you got Quez Watkins in the slot who's fast as hell. I mean, we got a running back squad that I don't think anybody can match. Kenneth Gainwell and Rashad Penny and we got DeAndre Swift, and we trying to add more pieces to that puzzle. So, like you say, Eagles should be a top 2 seed easily. Definitely. Eagles will finish as the best offense in the league. Jalen Hurts is sick about losing that Super Bowl last year, and he's coming out poised for greatness, man, because I'm looking at the way Jalen Hurts approaches the game, his mentality, his maturity to the game, and his next level. And when you got a quarterback that really is as focused as Jalen Hurts is, you can, as articulate as he is, as you know, as thought-worthy as he is, it's hard to be combative with that, man. It's hard not to expect nothing but greatness from this squad led by Jalen Hurts. So I think so let's run the list back. Top 5 offenses in the NFL going into the NFL season, 2023 season. I got the Chargers at 5. At 4, I got the Jets. At 3, I got the Jags. At 2, I got Kansas City. And at 1, I got Philadelphia Eagles. Giants probably going 10-7. We'll see. You know, you never know. But let's keep the dice rolling, man. While I'm hot, let's keep the dice rolling. We're going to move into the defensive side of the ball, right? At 5, this is the top 5 defenses going into the 2023 season. At 5, I got Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Baltimore Ravens, as long as I've been alive, have always been a staple defense, man. They've always prided themselves on hard-nosed football and being a great defensive unit. I mean, these guys got Roquan. These guys got Marlon Humphrey, Patrick Queen. These guys got Pierce. They are loaded on the defensive side of the ball. Where do I start? The Baltimore Ravens will finish as a top 5 defensive unit, in my opinion, next season. At 4, I got the Jets. I got the Jets at 4, and I will explain later on, right? I'll explain later on in depth why I have the Jets so high defensively. I mean, Adrian Amos, they got Reed, they got Sauce Gardner, they got Q Will on that defensive line, C.J. Mosley. These guys are no slouches, and they will be ready to play. Now, that's one concern I don't have in New York with the Jets, and that's the defense. Now, the offensive line may be shaky. Camaraderie and chemistry may be a thing starting out with this offensive unit, but that defensive unit, I have no fear and no worry about them. At 3, I got my Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I mean, where do we start with this team? In the trenches, we lost a lot of pieces this season, right? We lost a lot of pieces. I'm not going to hold you. But we revamped with a lot of young talent, a whole lot of young talent, even in the secondary. You know what I'm saying? We got to retain our corners. You know, we got Blankenship starting at safety. You know, we got a lot of young guys that are ball hawks, you know, in that secondary that I'm ready for. You know what I'm saying? Nakobe Dean in a few years, mark my words, will be talked about as one of the best, if not the best, middle linebackers in the league. Mark my words, right? And you already know what that defensive line do. What's understood don't need to be explained. Y'all already know what that defensive line do. We still got Brandon Graham and Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and Hassan Reddick and the whole 9, bro. We got 7 easy interchangeable. Easy, right? At 2, I got San Fran. I think they will have a better defense than us this year with the addition, especially with the addition of our defensive tackle, Javon Hargrave. You know, they got Bosa, they got Armstead, they got Fred Warner, arguably, not even arguably, the best middle linebacker in the league without a shadow of a doubt. So I got no fear in my mind that they should be at least by minimum a top 3 defense in the National Football League, right? Yeah, 49ers got a loaded defense, no doubt about that. They're definitely going to be top 5. There's no argument there with me that, you know, especially with the losses that we took, that they're going to be a better defensive unit than the Philadelphia Eagles. And at number 1, surprisingly, I got the Dallas Cowboys, man. Look, Dallas may be inconsistent at the quarterback position, but I tell you one thing, that defense they got, Pats got snubbed. Hey, I said top 10, not top 5, Donnie G. Who knows, though? Like I say, as long as you got Bill Belichick, you can sneak in. But this defense that the Dallas Cowboys has might be the best defense I've seen from them in a while. Your corner combo being Stephon Stephon Gilmore and Trayvon Diggs as your corner combo, that's nasty, man. You got DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons. This defense is loaded, and they definitely know how to get to the quarterback. All right, the Dallas Cowboys, if anything else, you can say what you want to say about Dak, how it's up in the air about Tony Pollard. We don't know if he can handle 30 carries a game, right? Can CeeDee Lamb be better than he was last year? Is Brandon Cooks over the hill? Is that offensive line over the hill? You can say what you want to say about the offense, the ifs and maybes, but that defense is loaded, man. Straight like that. No doubt about it. But let's see what we got. You can argue that the Cowboys got a monster defense. No doubt, man. You can't argue that. Cowboys offense is questionable. Definitely is. We're going to see how they roll with it, though. If they can put it together. I think that's why they traded for Trey Lance, low-key, though. Because if Dak Prescott don't work out, they got a cheap second option that they can go to, a temporary Band-Aid that they can put on, and at least, ride the wave. Because I had high hopes for Trey Lance coming out of North Dakota State, man. I thought he was going to be the dude. I don't think he got a fair shake, to be honest with you. But we'll see what the Cowboys do with him. So if we beat Dallas open tonight, y'all have no choice but to respect us. The whole league will more. The whole league will more. I don't know what that mean. Is overrated. Dallas defense is overrated. I doubt it, man. Who is we, though? Who do y'all play week 1? Saints to the NFC Championship. I'm calling it. Hey, Nick, man, listen up. Don't go nowhere because I got something for you. You saying that statement, don't go nowhere, man. I got something for you. You're going to like what I say later on in this show. Dak contract extension is coming up. Hey, I think he got 2 years left on his deal. We're going to see if they're going to resign him. It depends on – it's contingent on how he looks within these next 2 years, man. Dak has been massively inefficient, and he's been inconsistent. I got Parsons, TJ, and Garrett as my Defensive Player of the Year candidates. No doubt. No doubt. We're going to get into that next, actually. I think Parsons can get Defensive Player of the Year. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But I got a twist for y'all when it comes to Depoy, though. Y'all might not like who I got for Defensive Player of the Year, but you got to understand why I got it, right? The Giants, OG, that's my team. We play Dallas open tonight. Y'all going to have to respect us this season. I got respect for the Giants. I just don't know where y'all talent is at. I don't know how Brian Daboll did what he did last year with what he had to work with. I can't. It's unfathomable. How did y'all win like 9 games last year? Who is y'all wide receiver 1? Y'all wide receiver 1 is my Uncle Fred. I'm convinced. Y'all don't have a soul to throw the ball to. Who is y'all wide receiver 1? Who? Y'all wide receiver 2 is me. And you the slot. What you mean? And they got Saquon in the backfield with a shaky offensive line. I don't know how y'all won 9 games last year. I mean, it's crazy to say that, but I honestly do not know how y'all won 9 games. Like, the Giants could be good, but it all depends on Daniel Jones. Yeah, that's true. He can take another developmental leap. We saw, like I say, I keep bringing up Brian Daboll because that's the only answer I got for y'all. Like, I don't know how y'all won so many games. The defense is mid. The offense is mid. Special teams ain't carrying. So the only culprit that I can pin it to was Brian Daboll. That's it. Look what he did with Josh Allen. Josh Allen was an MVP candidate when Brian Daboll was his offensive coordinator. He loses him. Allen leads the league in turnovers, right? Daniel Jones was a turnover machine for the majority of his career. Fumbles, interceptions. He gets with Brian Daboll, least turnovers he's had in his career. So it's the Brian Daboll effect, man. Shout out to him. He deserved Coach of the Year last year by far. Doug Peterson was a close number 2, but no doubt in my mind Brian Daboll got it and he deserved to get it. Off topic, but it's a shame that the running back position is basically not needed no more. Like the fullback is now gone. Yeah, that's true. I remember when fullbacks were a necessity in the league. I'm old enough to remember when we needed fullbacks to run power I and all of that. But, yeah, fullbacks have completely faded out the league. And I don't think the running back position will fade out of the league. I just think that the fix for the running back position lies in the hand of the players. I made a video. I was on MJ's podcast a few weeks ago. Shout out to him. But I made I was on this podcast and we discussed a cure for the running back position. And basically what I said was it's on the players to do better. Because I believe if the players show that they can sustain health for a plethora of years, like the wide receiver position, like the quarterback position, like the safety position, the corner position, these guys can sustain health for 7, 8, 9, 10 years, right? That way they can get multiple contracts. How are you going to pay a running back all the money that he wants, the Zeke money, the Ty Gurley money? How you going to pay a running back that type of bread when his life expectancy is like 5 years in the NFL? It doesn't make sense. So they use him and they abuse him. You get what, 3 to 4 years on a rookie contract, and then you get 2 franchise tags. That's 7 years. It's smart business to play it that way. Is it wrong? Yes, it's very unethical. But at the end of the day, ethics don't matter when you're talking about business. So the only way the running backs can get paid and make sure that they get paid is to prolong your career and sustain greatness like Emmitt Smith did, like LaDainian Tomlinson did for 13 seasons, like Frank Gore did for 18 seasons. Running backs were carrying the ball more back then than they do now, but are playing less now than they did back then, and it doesn't make sense to me. If y'all got the answer, let me know down in the chat, because I can't come up with a legitimate reason for why that's the case. It doesn't make sense. Running backs, stay healthy and y'all will get paid. This is not on the owners. This is not on the coaching staff. This is on y'all. Point blank, period. That's just how I feel about it. The running back position takes so many hits, though. It's rough. That's true. And that's why I say, what's the explanation for the guys that play 15-plus years that's in the Hall of Fame? Or at least a consistent 10 years like Barry Sanders, like Walter Payton. Like, give me that at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jim Brown only played like 10 years, 8 years. But he was elite for all 8. Now, if you can guarantee me that, a running back can get 2 contracts off of that. But why would they pay a running back when all they got to do is just use him for 4 years, which is his life expectancy typically in the NFL. And then if he's still good or they feel like they can win with him still, franchise tag him for a year. Then let him walk and get another young guy. And that's another reason why running backs ain't getting paid, because there's so many of y'all. Running backs are not a dime a dozen. It's like finding a penny on the ground, literally. Quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. Wide receivers, to find an elite one, dime a dozen. Corners, dime a dozen. Running backs, it's so many of them that they're not even being taken in the first round anymore. The value of the running back position has completely depreciated. But let's get into these award predictions, right? Going into the 2023 season, this is who I think will win every single award. MVP, Jalen Hurts. Y'all may call it a homer pick. Y'all may call me biased. Do whatever the hell you want to do, but I don't give a damn. Jalen Hurts was 3 games away from winning league MVP last season. Second team All-Pro, right? Jalen Hurts threw for 4,200. My projection for Jalen Hurts to throw this year is 4,200 passing yards, right? I think he can be the first quarterback to throw for 4,000 and rush 4,000. I think he has that in him, right? 4,200 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards, 42 total touchdowns, 31 pass, 11 on the ground. If Jalen does that with the record that the Eagles are going to have in my anticipation, there's no doubt in my mind he can't win the league MVP. No doubt about it. MVP is a shocker. Of course it should be a shocker, but that's my league MVP, man. Another thing that would help Jalen is we got the toughest schedule in the NFL. So if Jalen perseveres through this tough schedule and puts up those numbers that I just illustrated, there's no doubt in my mind that that Jalen Hurts can't be the league MVP. Tell me I'm wrong. I got Daniel Jones as MVP. Yeah, what a shocker, right? All right, Defensive Player of the Year. I got Sauce Gardner for Defensive Player of the Year. Why do you have Sauce Gardner, OG? When was the last time a corner won it outside of Stephon Gilmore, right? Blah, 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 blah. I don't give a damn. Listen, this Jets defense will be stout, and it takes a lot of help for you to win Defensive Player of the Year, right? Look at the last few guys that won it. But I'm going to compare Sauce Gardner's year that he could potentially have this season to Darrelle Revis's 2007 season, where he got snubbed out of Defensive Player of the Year. Both of them are Jets, right, coincidentally. But Darrelle Revis got snubbed out of the Defensive Player of the Year back in 2007. Charles Woodson won it. Why did Charles Woodson win it? Because Darrelle Revis didn't have the stats on paper, right, to match up with Charles Woodson, who had the actual stats. But nobody messed with Revis. That 2007 season is the best season I've ever seen with my own two eyes from a corner by Darrelle Revis. And I think Sauce Gardner has that type of potential. That's how good he is, right? And here's another prime example. Odell Beckham, Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill twice, Stephon Diggs twice, Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf. That is who Sauce Gardner has to see this season. And if he can come anything close to containing those guys, not shutting them down, but containing those guys and holding those guys to under 100 yards, just like Darrelle Revis did in 2007, there's no doubt in my mind that Sauce Gardner can win the Defensive Player of the Year. And he's very capable of doing everything that I just said. Offensive Player of the Year, I got Jamar Chase. Now, coming off this injury, I think Jamar Chase is going to be what he's expected to be, right? Everybody knows he's a household name. He's a complete dog, arguably the best wide receiver in the league to me, and his chemistry with Joe Burrow is just unmatched, right? My predictions for Jamar Chase this season is over 1,700 yards and 14 touchdowns. Easy, close to 100 catches, all right? That's my prediction for Jamar Chase coming into this season. Interrupt. I got a question. The Jets defense could be great to amazing. I got a question for you. Which player in this crop of players could win MVP? That's a defensive player. None of them, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. The quarterback position is so important. It's the most important position in football. So that's the position that's more than likely gonna win the award. And I'm gonna tell you like this here. You ask me which defensive player out of all of those guys that I name has the legit opportunity to win MVP. I think the last defensive player to do that was LT, Lawrence Taylor, all right? The offensive skill positions are so important in this league, it's very, very hard to give it to a defensive guy. If you don't have a quarterback, your chances of winning are slim to none, right? If you don't have a right end, you could still win like that. If you don't have a linebacker, you can still win like that. So the chances of them giving it to a defensive player, I'm going to tell you like this here. If Cooper Kupp didn't win it when he got the Triple Crown, damn it, ain't nobody winning it that's not a quarterback. Facts. If Cooper Kupp didn't win it when he caught 1,000 passes for 10 million yards and 3 billion touchdowns, if that man didn't win MVP that season, nobody's going to get it outside of the quarterback position, maybe the running back position. That's just how I feel about that. Can we all just agree, OG, that Jets will lead the league in yards again? He averages 1,400 a season. I don't think people understand how hard that is. Real talk. Jets is a dog, man. And that's another thing that I was going to get into the next episode. I might do another episode later on in the week. And the episode is going to be called Who Will Lead the League, where I'll be discussing all the major statistical categories for each position and who's going to lead the league in them. Interceptions, sacks, yards for a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, the whole 9 touchdowns. I was going to, do the whole rundown on it and really talk about it. But let's get back into this award predictions, right? Comeback player of the year, I got Michael Thomas. For the first time in like 2 years, he's healthy. Coming into training camp, he's healthy. Leading into the regular season, he's healthy. He's not expected to miss the start of the season, and I like that. And now they've made a massive improvement at the quarterback position with Derek Carr. They've got him some help on the outside, so he's not the complete focal point. And Chris Olave, he's expected to take a developmental leap from a great to solid rookie campaign, right? He was elite the last time we saw him. But my prediction for Michael Thomas is a little over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. I think it's going to take him some time to get acclimated to the offense and get back into the rhythm that he was in the last time we saw him. So comeback player of the year, I got Michael Thomas for sure. You think Michael Thomas got another 1,000-yard season? Yeah, I do. I don't see why not in this offense, right? They got Jamal Williams for the goal line work. They got Alvin Kamara, who's great out of the backfield receiving the ball. Derek Carr can sling it, man. Derek Carr can definitely sling it. And you got Michael Thomas. You got Chris Olave. I like what they got going on over there, especially on the defensive side of the ball as well. But Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Dennis Allen. The reason why I'm going to go with Dennis Allen is because the Saints this season, while we talking about them, right? Michael Thomas, Dennis Allen, it goes hand in hand. He's going to be responsible for the way that defense is shaped out, right? Spent multiple years under Sean Payton. So he should learn a thing or two about not only offense, but Dennis Allen knows him some defense, right? And I think the New Orleans Saints will feast on this defense or feast on this division. They play in the worst division in football. The division, they get to play Carolina twice, Tampa Bay twice, and Atlanta twice. Because of that alone, I believe this defense can be top 10 in the league, no doubt about it. And because of that, it's going to result to a complete 180 from the Saints that we saw last year that was depleted with injuries, inconsistent quarterback play. They didn't have their dogs with him, right, which was Dennis Allen's rookie campaign as a head coach. And I think he learned from his mistakes, right, and he's going to turn this team around and make this team is going to win a division, so they're going to make the playoffs. Mark my words. The New Orleans Saints will make the playoffs this season. They're going to run away with this division. It's the worst division I've ever seen in my life, no doubt. So Dennis over Brian is crazy. Dayball? I can't remember the last coach that won Coach of the Year twice in a row. Didn't Dayball win it last year? I don't even like Dennis Allen as a head coach. Hey, nobody likes a defensive-minded, gritty head coach, right? So, I think give him a shot. You know what I mean? Give him a shot. He's been there a while. You know what I'm saying? He's learned a thing or two. Give him a shot. Let's see where this goes. And as long as that defense is stout and he can have them boys, running east and west, I think they got a legit shot because the offense is not bad over there, man. Offensive line might be a little shaky, but when Alvin Kamara comes off suspension, you got Jamal Williams, you got Chris Olave, you got Michael Thomas back and he's healthy. The Saints can do some things, right? Offensive Rookie of the Year, what's understood don't need to be explained. I got Bijan Robinson. They drafted this guy with a top 10 pick in Atlanta. There's no reason in my mind why Bijan shouldn't be at least 1,200 on the ground, double-digit touchdowns, right? That's the anticipation. That's the idea. That's what we hoping for Bijan Robinson. And if that comes true, he should run away with Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I'm going to go Jalen Carter, right? I know our defensive line is stacked. I know it is, right? Assuming he gets the reparable snaps that he's supposed to get, Jalen Carter should run away with Defensive Player of the Year. Fletcher Cox is getting old. We got rid of Javon Hargrave. We still got Jordan Davis. So they might do a little rotational thing between Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. We will see. But as long as he gets the requisite snaps that he needs to become eligible for this award, he's going to run away with it because this man is a dog. No doubt about it. So let's run it back. Award predictions for the 2023 season at MVP, I got Jalen Hurts. Watch out. Defensive Player of the Year, I got Sauce Gardner. If he locks up OBJ, Cooper, Chase, Reek twice, Stephon Diggs, Jets, and DK, he's going to win that award. Offensive Player of the Year, I got Jamar Chase. Got him going for over 1,714 touchdowns. Comeback Player of the Year, I got Michael Thomas. Got him going for over 1,000 yards and 8 TDs, right? Coach of the Year, I got Dennis Allen. He's going to turn this Saints team around. Watch what I tell you. They're going to feast off a terrible division. Offensive Rookie of the Year, I got Bijan Robinson with expectations of over 1,200 yards and double-digit touchdowns on the ground. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I got Jalen Carter if he gets the requisite snaps that he needs to qualify to win that award. Those are my award predictions for the 2023 season. Jalen Carter got a benefit being around an amazing defense. No doubt about that. That often helps. You know what I'm saying? Like, to win these awards, you got to be around greatness. I can't remember the last person that won these defensive awards that wasn't around a great defense of some sort, right? So you got to be around greatness to win these awards. All right, keeping it moving, right? Because we running it up. I'm trying to get up out of here within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Keeping it rolling, right? We got top 5 players at each position going into the 2023 season. The positions that I'm going to do: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and screw it, I'm going to do cornerback, right? It's because I like corners, man. Like, I'm going to do cornerback, right? We can't sleep on Jalen Waddle. No doubt. Jalen Waddle was a dog. Jalen Waddle was a dog. Both of those guys over there, X, Y, Z, all of them, no matter where you line them up, man, them guys are dogs, man. Tyreek Hill went for over 1,700 last year. Jalen Waddle went for, 1,300 last year. Those guys are dogs. But I don't think Waddle made this list. But let's see what we got here. Top 5 quarterbacks going into the 2023 season. At 5, I got Lamar Jackson. Now, I know he's been injury-prone as of late, a little bit banged up, but we cannot deny what type of quarterback Lamar Jackson is. He's a league MVP, so I do not care what you guys say. When Lamar Jackson steps on the field, he's Superman. He's somebody you have to immediately identify where his location is and make sure he doesn't get out of that pocket because he's dangerous. And once he start rolling and them legs start rolling, that's when that cannon come out. Next thing you know, right over your head top. OBJ over your head top. Rashad Bateman over your head top. Zay Flowers over your head top. Now you like, damn, we got to worry about Lamar. Now he got some weapons with him. I got Lamar at 5. At 4, I got Jalen Hurts, man. 3,700 yards, 800 rushing yards, 35 total touchdowns last season, and he missed 3 games. So I got no doubt in my mind if Jalen would have played those 3 games, he would have been first-team All-Pro, league MVP. He'd have had over 4,200 yards, maybe cracked the 1,000-yard mark. He would have had easily 40 total touchdowns, easily. So I got Jalen Hurts at 4. At 3, I got Josh Allen. Now, I know Josh Allen had, to his own standard, a bit of a down season last year. He threw a lot of interceptions, led the league in turnovers with 19. That is absurd. Josh Allen, we got to shape that up, and we got to get that together. But as of now, I still have Josh Allen as a top 3 quarterback going into the 2023 season. At number 2, I got Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has been getting a lot of slander on TikTok and Instagram lately. I've been seeing y'all talking crazy about my man Joe Burrow. Hey, watch your mouth. Okay? Them LSU boys don't play. Watch your mouth. Joe Burrow is a dog. Let's not get it twisted. Please. Joe Burrow, 4,400 yards, 35 touchdowns last year through the air. Let's not get it twisted. Oh, he's carried by his kicker. He's carried by Jamar. I don't want to hear none of that. Burrow is a dog. What's understood don't need to be explained. And number 1, Patrick Mahomes by far. I cannot believe people tried to tell me Josh Allen was better than him. Joe Burrow is better than him. He owns Patrick Mahomes. Look, I don't give a damn who you talking about. Nobody will ever surpass Patrick Mahomes as long as he's alive. He will be the best quarterback in the league. As long as he's alive, he will be the best quarterback in the league. No doubt about it. Patrick Mahomes last year, over 5,200 passing yards, 41 touchdowns. What's understood don't need to be explained, man. That's my top 5 quarterbacks headed into the 2023 season. Now, let's move on. Top 5 running backs headed into the 2023 season. At 5, I got Saquon Barkley. Last year, he had over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns. Hopefully, he can stay healthy because he is the main focal point and offensive weapon on this Giants roster, man. He's literally all the Giants have on offense. He's Superman for that team. So if he stays healthy, they always got a shot. At 4, I got CMC, the best two-way back in the league. He can catch it, he can run it, and he's damn good at both of them. The best in the league at it. Last year, 1,100 yards, right? Man had over 700 yards through the air. 13 total touchdowns. CMC is an animal. At number 3, I got Josh Jacobs. He led the league in rushing last year. He had a ton of carries. He is a true definition of what a workhorse back is. Josh Jacobs had over 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns. Like I stated, enough to lead the league. He has to be in the top 5. At number 2, I got Nick Chubb, the most efficient running back in the league right now, in my opinion, next to Tony Pollard. Over 1,500 yards, 12 touchdowns for Nick Chubb. Now he's got the backfield to himself. Who knows what he can ramble off? If he can handle 30 carries, we are definitely going to find out what Nick Chubb is made of this year. He had over 1,500 yards last year. Nick Chubb might go for 800, 900, 1,800, 1,900 yards on the ground. He might rush for 2,000, damn it. We going to see. The addition of Deshaun Watson might hold that back, but we going to see. I got Nick Chubb at 2. Number 1 to me, Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is a man. He's still the best running back in the league to me. Derrick Henry quietly last season, 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns on the ground. He's a man-child. He is the sole reason Tennessee gets any wins. No other reason outside of Derrick Henry. So let's run it back. At 5, I got Saquon. At 4, I got CMC. At 3, I got Josh Jacobs. At 2, I got Nick Chubb. And at 1, the best running back in the league is King Henry. Those are my top 5 running backs headed into the 2023 season. Top 5 wide receivers headed into the 2023 season. At 5, I got A.J. Brown. Now, a lot of y'all might say this might be too high, this might be too low. A lot of people have been indifferent about A.J. Brown, but you can't deny his production. Last season, he was amazing, and he's the sole reason why the Philadelphia Eagles were in the position that they were in. His ability to beat man-to-man coverage is outstanding, and he is a lifesaver when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles and the production that they were able to garner and the help and aid and development of Jalen Hurts. At 4, I got my man Ricky Reed. 119 catches, 1,700 yards, 7 touchdowns last year for Reek. He's a premier wide receiver in this league. Used to be a special team guy, gadget guy, turned himself into an elite wide receiver, plays at a high level, fastest guy in the league. You can't catch him. And when him and Waddle was on that field together, look out, man. Number 3 may surprise you guys, but I got Justin Jefferson at number 3. I know guys might think Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the league, but I want to pump the brakes on that because not to start or create any controversy, but I truly and honestly believe Justin Jefferson is great, but I don't think he's the best, right? He did have over 100 catches, 1,500 yards, and 14. No. He had 128 catches, 1,800 yards, 8 touchdowns last season, right? Hell of a year. I want to see him do it again, and there's no doubt in my mind that he can. But I vowed to put Jamar Chase ahead of him because I've been calling it from the jump. And Jamar Chase is who I got at number 2. Jamar Chase, last season, 87 catches, over 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns, while missing 5 games. If Jamar Chase plays those 5 games at that damn near 100, 150 yard per game average pace he was on, he would have been exactly where Jets was at. Close to 1,800 yards, 15 touchdowns. That would have been Chase last year. 1,400 yards every season. Come on, OG, just clearly the best. Let's not overrate Jamar Chase. We're not overrating Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is a severe weapon. I just think he's better than Justin Jefferson, and I think he's been better than Justin Jefferson since college. That's just my opinion, though, man. And number 1, to be honest with you, what's understood don't need to be explained to me. I don't know why y'all be tweaking. Tay Adams is the best wide receiver in the league still. Like, I know y'all so thirsty to hop on the Jets hype train. Cool. I think Justin Jefferson is exquisite. But is he better than Devontae Adams with the situation that he's been in? No. Tay Adams last year, over 100 catches, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns with me at quarterback. Tay Adams is the best wide receiver in football until proven otherwise. Repeat that list again. At 5, I got A.J. Brown. At 4, I got Tyreek Hill. At 3, I got Justin Jefferson. At 2, I've got Jamar Chase. And at 1, I have Devontae Adams. I'm not even going to do tight ends because, honestly, if I did a top 5 tight ends in the league right now, it'd be at 5, it'd be Big Red. At 4, it'd be number 84. At 3, it'll be Travis. At 2, it'll be Kelsey. And at 1, it'll be number 84, get open, Travis Kelce, Big Red. Like, what's understood will need to be explained. I don't think that – I heard somebody say the tight end position should be canceled out of the league because Travis Kelce is just light years ahead of everybody else, and everybody else would be irrelevant once he retires. Like, let's just be real talk. Can't be mad at Ted. Number 1, he's going to eat regardless. Facts. Chase is not better than Justin. Put that liquor down. The liquor's up. Give me Jamar Chase over Jets, and you know how I feel, KB, and that's real talk. You know how I feel. Top 5 cornerbacks headed into the 2023 season. These are expectations of who I think will finish as the top 5, who my opinion on the top 5 cornerbacks. OG can't be serious. Darren Waller's the top 5 tight end, don't play. Yeah. I mean, I had them written down. At 5, I had Dallas Goedert. At 4, I had Waller. At 3, I had Hockenson. At 2, I had Mark Andrews. And at 1, it's Travis Kelce. I had it written down, but I didn't feel like going over it because I don't feel like putting those guys next to Travis Kelce when he's in a league of his own like that. I just feel like it's disrespectful. So we going to move on to cornerbacks. Top 5 cornerbacks headed into the 2023 season. At 5, I got Jair Alexander. Second team All-Pro last season. He's a dog. It doesn't matter what he needs to play man-to-man. He's going to roam with the wide receiver. He can play zone. Jair Alexander is a dog, and he's been a dog for some time now, right? At 4, I got Patrick Surtain, right? Patrick Surtain is the young cat that came in, and he's just like, look, Denver, I'm the guy. I believe Patrick Surtain was, second team, first team All-Pro, or second team All-Pro last season. One of the best, arguably the best corner in the league. You can make a legitimate case because at number 3 I got Darius Slay, first team All-Pro if I'm not mistaken. Darius Slay is a dog. Last year completely shut down your number 1 wide receiver, Justin Jefferson. Yeah, when Slay got on that boy, when number 2 got on that boy, he didn't catch a pass. Darius Slay had more interceptions than Jay Jets had catches in that game. Yeah, just a reminder. At number 2, I got Jalen Ramsey. I think he's still, even though he's getting older and these young guys are seemingly passing him up, I'm a guy that has a hard time giving the torch to somebody. I would rather the king lose the crown before I snatch it off his head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to lose it on his own. Jalen Ramsey is still a dog, and I think he's a top 2 corner in this league until proven otherwise. And at number 1 is Sauce Gardner. What he did in his rookie year hasn't been done since Ronnie Lott back in the damn 80s. This man was first team All-Pro as a rookie. That doesn't happen. Sauce Gardner is the definition of a premier cornerback, and he is the best cornerback in the league. No doubt about it. All right. Last segment of the day, right, before we get the hell up out of there. I want to play a game with you guys. It's called Overhype and Overlooked, right? Every season we got the Cinderella story where a team comes out of nowhere. Nobody expected this team to be good, and they ended up being good. Then we got the teams that everybody expected to be good, and they end up being ass, right? So we're going to call it Overhyped and Overlooked. Last year's Overhyped would have been the Denver Broncos. Everybody thought they would be in the Super Bowl or at least deep into the playoffs, and they ended up being Gabricio. Last year's Overlooked would be the New York Giants under Brian Daboll. He completely turned this team around that is talentless, made them a playoff team. So let's see who's going to be that this season. Overhyped and Overlooked. For Overhyped, back-to-back, we going Denver Broncos. I saw those boys in the preseason. Them boys is garbage. I don't want to hear nothing about the Denver Broncos being good. I don't want to hear nothing about chemistry, nothing about nothing. These boys are injury prone. Russell Wilson looks Gabricio and completely over the hill. I don't know if he's trash. He making Sean Payton look trash, who was talking about Nathaniel Hackett, deservedly so, because Nathaniel Hackett is Gabricio his damn self. I get mad looking at Nathaniel Hackett on Hard Knocks, knowing how garbage he is as a head coach. He was trash, rightfully so by Sean Payton, but damn, you making yourself look like a fool because these Denver Broncos look Gabricio. Gabricio. Y'all are the overhype because people thinking y'all going to turn it around. You add Sean Payton and what's not. The team is supposed to be healthy. Jerry Jeudy is already coming into the season injured. I just think the Broncos going to fall on their face and they're going to flop. All right? And overlooked, we talked about this earlier. I don't know if he's still in here, but I got the New Orleans Saints as the overlooked team this year. I think they're going to be the surprise. I talked about it earlier. They are going to feast on this week's schedule. I think it's the NFC South. That division is ass. They get to play Atlanta, Carolina, and Tampa Bay twice. Those teams will be top lottery picks. And I said lottery, that's NBA. Those teams will be fiending for the top 3, top 4 spots in the NFL draft this upcoming season. Those boys is finna be garbage. And the Saints is the only serviceable team that can do some damage in that division. I think they win that division by 4 games, no doubt. So my overhyped is the Denver Broncos. My overlooked is the New Orleans Saints. No doubt about it. But I thank all of you guys, man, for joining me for this segment, man. I feel so good to be back. I'm breaking a sweat, man. I love this, man. I love doing it. I appreciate every single one of y'all dubs in the chat if you had a good time, man. I'm going to be more frequent. I promise. I'm going to be more frequent. NFL is around the corner, and we going to get it popping. I'm excited for the season. You know what I'm saying? Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all my look at that. That's my damn screen, man. And that's what we doing, man. Jalen Hurts in 1, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in. If you on YouTube, make sure you drop a follow, man. Twitch, make sure you drop a follow. Follow me on Instagram at OGTheBeast_sports on every platform. I love all of you guys. Peace and love. Have a good day. What's up, y'all? OG the Beast here, and I appreciate you tapping into the Sports Behavior Podcast. If you made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. But if you want to stay connected with me, go ahead and drop me a follow on each and every one of these socials. That's how you stay locked in, man. I appreciate y'all stopping in. We talk football. We talk basketball here. And once again, you are greatly appreciated for stopping by. OG out.